You got served too. Is it happening? What's going on?
You're the only person I said this to today, but I'll say it this one time.
It's Klep Napier here reporting for Ashley and Company, and there's a new sci-fi thriller film on its way to select theaters August 29th titled Run. It's from the mind of Chris Stokes and Marques Houston, and we had an opportunity to sit with Chris and Marques to talk about the conception of this sci-fi thriller, its deeper narrative, and big news about You Got Served 2 and Stepmother. And here's what they had to say. Check it out. I want to say congratulations on 10 years with footage films, right? It's coming up. We're on 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations on that, guys. I
Thank
mean,
you
you
so
guys have been
much.
putting it. You're welcome. You've been putting in the work, and it's being noticed. So we got to talk about this new film, Run. You guys have worked together for some time. You've done different genres. So why are we jumping into the sci-fi thriller realm now? What's going on with that?
I would say the reason why I was thinking, what can I do for the urban community that no one else has really done? And I felt like in seeing that, I felt like I said aliens because I kept seeing ships are coming, aliens are in people's backyards, and I'm like, but if I can make it a alien urban movie that's not corny, because you think when you think a black person and an alien, you think we're gonna be running and
It'll
it
be
could
funny.
feel corny
Yep.
because uh, uh, no one has never urban cast doing an alien movie, you know, they don't, it's not done, it's never been done, so I'm like, let me try to do something different and make people come to their seats. And not only that, as because me and Marcus, who is my partner in footage films, we both own that, we felt like, let's take our urban community back to the theaters. So this is our attempt to do that because we want to go to the theaters too, and it's not a lot of stuff out there for us.
Yeah, and Marcus, like you co-writing it on this, and you said that you at first didn't see yourself as the character Andre. Who else did you have in mind for this role if it was not yourself? Because I feel like you fit it perfectly.
Oh man, well, thank you so much for that compliment. I feel like Andre was a great character. I think the writing process with Chris comes up with these ideas, and he's a genius when it comes to these ideas. That's why it's just so we've done so many movies. All his brain is just cranking them out, and we get together. We'll like do the whole outline, and we'll get together. And once I start writing the script, I don't really see people in my head as far as actors. I just kind of like, I'm going and I'm going and we're trying to get it done. And with this one, I don't know. I mean, I definitely could have seen maybe Michael Ealy, you know.
Okay,
You
okay.
I
know what
thought
I'm saying?
Michael Ealy. I did
Yeah.
think um, um, Michael B. Jordan, Michael Ealy, Little Rail. I thought about a lot of people, but then
Yeah,
when me and Mark was starting to meet with people and actors and talking to the teams, I'm like, you should do it. And he was like, huh? I wrote the script. We
Yeah.
wrote it together, but Mark, normally how our scripts are structured, he gets the first draft going. I'll come up with the story. He'll get the first draft going. And I
okay.
felt like if I told him I wanted him to play the role, he was going to write it differently. So I was like, once it was all the way done, I was like, I want you to play this role. He was like, huh? What are you talking about? And I'm like, I want you to play it.
So yeah,
And
so
it,
I mean, that's just kind of how it went. And I think for me, the sci-fi thing is I've always been a fan of sci-fi. Like,
yeah,
Independence Day was one of my favorite movies. I loved how Will Smith was able to body the comedy in a serious situation. And I think what this movie does, it embodies the humor in a very serious situation. And that's what for me playing Andre, I looked at it like, I did the take on how Will Smith played his character in Independence Day. He was really charismatic, very funny, but it was a serious thing. They were saving the world. So that's kind of like the take I had in my head writing that character is kind of like that Will Smith character in Independence Day. And going into sci-fi, like Chris said, it was something different, something that you don't see
mhm,
that urban cast would be in a sci-fi movie. An all sci-fi movie, you might see one urban guy or two, you know what I'm saying? But you don't see a full urban cast. And I think that's what makes this story so great. And it's not just a story about people running from aliens, it's also a story of survival. It's a story of friendship. It's a story of
yeah.
loyalty. and
Yeah.
these people have to come together and they have to band together and try to really really survive this alien invasion. It's like for us as black people, we trying to sit there like, man, what would I do if that was me? You know, we always like to watch movies and be like, if that was me, this what I do. So it's one of those you definitely gonna like, yell at the screen. You're gonna be like, oh girl, get, you know what I'm saying? Man, if that was me, I would have did this, you know what I'm
The
saying? So
whole audience turns up at the
yeah,
premieres. It was
it's turning up.
crazy. It
Yeah.
was like it was the feeling of you got served. Everyone's yelling,
Yeah,
everyone's going off. They love it.
yeah,
I want to talk about like the writing, because there's a lot of contrast with relationships, like you were saying, Marcus. Um, Push and pull, gender roles, and just the stresses of relationships, marriage, and all that. How important was that, and what is the message that you're trying to portray within this sci-fi movie? Because there's a lot more going on than just scary monsters and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
For
Which is
me,
what's helping Marcus. That's a good point he's asking you because this really helped the audience. When they seen it, they were like, wow, this is a good story. He's right.
Yeah.
I think
Talk about
I
that for
think
sure.
the thing with Chris and I when we do movies, and mainly Chris, he always wants to have a good story. No matter what the topic of the movie is, it can be if it was Jaws, if Chris was doing Jaws and a shark was attacking a boat, he's gonna want to put some kind of love story or some kind of
Yeah.
like something that you for the audience to pull for. Because when you watch these movies, you wanna pull for our character, me and Annie's characters. It's like we're in this turmoil, but it's all about, like I said, banding together. This sense of like scarceness and us having to really come together and really put our differences to the side. And you realize, you know what we fighting about ain't even important. Right now, we got to try to survive, and we got to try to survive together. And I think that togetherness and that love and that bond is really the message that the story tells outside of we all running for some aliens.
And I got
I,
a
I
question.
agree. And the friendship. The friendship. You love the
Mm,
friendship. And I learned that so that from I've studied Steven Spielberg is my favorite director of all times. And I like that James Cameron and Steven always tell stories. And so with me, I've been able, even with the Tubi brand, to really blow up these movies and make them big, like, on the level of the Netflixes and the Hulus, and I've had movies on Netflix. So I
yeah.
wanted it to feel like really big, but for our cultures, where we get like a kind of like in the world of a Jurassic Park, but a really, really good story. So that
Yeah.
you love the character, so that by time you're so engulfed in everything, and then the aliens doesn't take the whole floor, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think you guys did a great job. One last question before I go, because I gotta let you guys go. It's 10 years, footage films. You got served too. Is it happening? What's going on?
We are in serious negotiations. You're the only person I said this to today, but I'll say it this one time because everyone asked me, like literally
Yeah.
hundreds of people, thousands. I think that we are going to do it. It is rumored that we might be taking Stepmother 4 to theaters,
Okay.
with Erica Mena, because it's so big and it was such of a big brand for us that may be going to theaters, which no one knows. It's the first time anyone heard that too. But because you're a brother, I'm telling you some stuff I can tell everybody else. Um, but You Got Served, I would say, is 95%. We've moved forward with making it. If you're asking me, is there a script for You Got Served too? Yes.
Good. That's
But
that's what we
as
want.
far as us making it, we're still working out everything, all the differences.
Awesome. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to chat with me. Guys, make sure you're checking out Run in limited theaters August 29th.
Yes.